Yo, what up, man? Chris, somebody checking back in, man. Back with the blog, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe button anyway, and I appreciate all the support. Hope you guys is having a good Tuesday, a good week, man. A couple things I want to talk about. You see the title, man. Jones is, he called out a couple bloggers or whatever saying that people are protecting head ice. So I figured I'd just respond to this again. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when people interview with Jones, they need to just keep it real with Jones on some things and just let him know some of the issues with what he's saying, and I don't feel like that conversation is being had, so I guess I'll say it again. Also, Eazy did a live yesterday discussing the whole TBL J2 hustle situation, and I thought the live went pretty well for him as far as what he explained. It does seem like there is a little bit of confusion, I guess, in something that Hustle said and then something that Eazy said. So Hustle said that TBL reached out to her and Eazy to see if it's okay if they're cool with being on the card a couple months ago. And she said everybody said yes, and that's why she feels like Rim is the one that stopped it. Eazy said that never happened. There was never a phone call, and he was never aware that Hustle was going to be on the card at all. Now, I guess TBL could clear up this confusion if they want to, but TBL does. I did hear that they were wondering like what was the issue with that they didn't know Hustle and Eazy situation was that deep. They just thought it was some battle rap shit. They did not know that that they didn't like each other really like that, or they didn't really know the history. So if you don't know the history, then why would you call them 2 months ago and ask them if it's okay if they're on the card? I kind of felt like that conversation didn't happen as well. And then Loso was saying that, I think Loso was saying that the battle just got booked like 10 days ago or something like that. So why are they calling you 2 months ago to basically ask you if you okay with being on the card if the battle wasn't set up but 10 days ago? I don't know. It's a lot of confusion, but so yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and we can move on from this subject. Hustle is not on the card, and they replaced the J2 battle with Av, so you're going to get Av versus Saga. Now that created another problem. it's all these problems. So apparently Av and Jackboy was supposed to battle, I guess in the DMV area, and that battle was canceled now, and I'm hearing that one of the reasons that Av canceled it was because he got the Saga battle, but the Jack battle isn't until November, so people are like, yo, you can still do this battle and still do that battle now and there. Now the reason why niggas are mad is because they're saying Av is the one that really wanted to do it. He was trying to put on for the DMV, put on for Virginia, whatever, and he wanted to bring a battle there, and then all of a sudden he just, after they went around, booked the card, they booked Wusa and some other people booked the card and basically sent out deposits to niggas. Like the league owner and Av was doing this together in conjunction. The league owner was supposed to be paying for part of the card. Av was supposed to be paying for the other part of the card, from what I'm hearing. The league owner, I spoke to him yesterday, he already sent out deposits. He said Av has not paid his people, but some of these people know about the battle. Some of the flyers have dropped, and people are like, yo, where I haven't got my deposit from Av. So I don't know. Niggas are saying Av doing bad business. He's basically trying to put on for Virginia, but they ain't got no bread. That's basically what they saying at the end of the day, because he's not paying people their deposits, and so half of the car has money and the other half doesn't. So I don't know. It's just crazy. More unprofessional BS and battle rap. So I don't really know what's going on with that. But I saw that there was a space with Jack talking about it. So I spoke to the league owner. He seemed to be a pretty stand-up dude. He basically broke down the whole situation. He was just like, yo, I didn't even want to do a card in Virginia. Av hit me up to do the card, and then he's not paying the people that he said he was going to pay after I paid my people. So now half of my deposits are out, and we have no battle. That's literally what he said. But anyway, Head Ice and Serius Jones. I spoke about this once already. There has been, I guess, a little bit of new information since that last situation. I know Jones has been going off a lot about this entire situation, basically saying bloggers are protecting Head Ice and all this kind of stuff. They're not protecting Head Ice, bro. Like Head Ice can get ground up just like anybody else. Now, Head Ice is you know, from the Lions Den era, he has been someone that has commanded a lot of respect in his culture. The same way people didn't jump out the window about those accusations about Mook and everything like that, they're not going to jump out the window about Head Ice as well. He's kind of garnered a little bit of that respect. I don't know if it's warranted or whatever, because I don't fuck with Ice. But at the same time, he's from Lions Den, he's been around for a while, and everybody always holds him in kind of high regard, at least in the battle rap culture. So those kind of people can a lot of times get the benefit of the doubt, or wait and see in a lot of situations. I also think, Jones, you're going a little bit past your mark. You're reaching so far to try to expose Ice that you should have just stuck with what was the real facts. And I don't feel like you're sticking with the facts of the case. And I feel like that's part of your problem. You're running around calling him an R, you're calling him a rat, you're calling him a pedophile. Let me repeat that. You're calling him an R, you're calling him a rat, and you're calling him a pedophile. I'm gonna let y'all actually hear him call these people that. Hold on.
All I'm saying is, go to the source, bro. You're listening to fucking bloggers that are trying to save a nigga that just told on himself. Go look at his last interview. The nigga said the case ain't happened, right?
Which one? The hip hop
Did he
is
not
real?
say the case ain't happened? Did he not say the case ain't happened?
Hold up. The hip hop is real?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta stop with this YouTube TV
movies,
stuff. Don't do that.
Drama. Get features that make.
Hold up. The hip hop is real?
Yeah.
Yo, Jones, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? I seen that shit. I said, oh shit. Nah, yeah. Yo, Jones.
Like,
Hold
I
up,
hate
Jones.
that
Yo,
nigga.
Jones.
Y'all trying to save this nigga. He sat there and told you out his own mouth. He said that he sat down with the DA.
That shit like an hour. Yo, Jones.
He said he talked to detectives, and he said he talked to a DA. What wolf and what gangster says I cooperated with the DA and they believe my story? You told the DA detective a story.
Yo, Jones, it wasn't even that. What fucked me up was when he was just like, yeah, he went to the precinct, then he said your man went to the... I said, oh, shit. Oh, niggas is going... Oh, this is... So Jones not lying.
That's the only thing I came up here is because you saying I'm a liar, bro. I would never lie. I would never lie, especially about no shit like this, bro. The nigga told on himself. The nigga said there was no case. There was no nothing, right? Then he just said he went to court and it was dismissed. You heard him? He said, I went to court and it was dismissed. So I was in no case.
But Jones, hear me out. Hear me out,
Jones. Now he's trying to look, and now he's trying to, hold on. Now he's trying to put it on the wolf, right? If that was the case, you would have said right when I brought that up, nigga, that was such and such that did that shit. That wasn't
me. You're right. Yeah.
You tried to act like nothing happened.
He fucked up with that Tiger, the Tiger Uppercut podcast.
And then when it comes out, all of a sudden, oh, it's somebody else. And I talked to the detectives, and I talked to the DA, who believed my story. So you tell stories to detectives and DAs. Oh, okay. That's not something that wolves and gangsters do, bro. We have lawyers. Our lawyer tells the story.
Shit, man,
Look, and he didn't even acknowledge the case that I said right here, the underage person, whatever that shit is. He didn't even acknowledge that. He said that was fake paperwork. How was it fake paperwork when you paid $10 and I just showed y'all the site that you can go to? Pay $10 then. You a blogger? Y'all media? Why the fuck is Henny Man not paying the fucking $10? Pay the money, nigga.
So Henny Man wrong.
Jones ain't never lied to y'all. Jones is never going to lie to y'all. And I didn't give a fuck about none of this shit until this nigga kept playing with the fucking wolf. He's not a wolf. He's a rapist and a fucking faggot. That's why he's scared to face me. Why he won't go on his own block. And why he's sitting on an off-brand block doing an interview. His third one. He ain't come to the fucking building yet. Where he's supposed to be repping. Y'all don't get it. He's not outside like this. He's a bitch. Y'all niggas be believing anything. But anyway.
All right, man. I forgot he said the F word. I don't even know if this video gonna get monetized. All right, so there's a couple problems. First of all, some of this is the messenger, bro. Like some of this is you. Like you talking real gangster. You talking real tough. You act like you want to fight Head Ice. You don't even act like this is just no exposed stuff. You like, you won't come to the block, he won't face me, here it is. You act like you just want to beat him up when you see him. We don't really know you for that. You know what I'm saying? We know you for being like a little smooth, little pimp, little player. We don't really know you for the gangster stuff. You know what I'm saying? You Muslim, you supposed to be practicing, peace and harmony and all. We don't really know you for that. So some of this is like, okay, is Jones doing too much? All right, so you heard him say he's a pedo, he's an R, he's a rat. First of all, if somebody accuses you of a sexual assault or something and you go clear your name and you quote unquote talk to the police, how are you a rat? That don't even make any sense. If I'm looking right now and I see somebody jump on top, if I'm a street dude and I see somebody, I pull up at a gas station and I see a dude over in the corner attacking a woman, jumping on top of her, trying to sexually assault her, and I call the cops or whatever and be like, yo, arrest this fool. How am I a rat for protecting someone who's being sexually assaulted? That doesn't make you a rat, bro. That's not what a rat is. You know what I'm saying? Like you do get, it's okay to expose people who mess with, I guess, women, kids, little stuff like that. Like that's not ratting. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just not. If I come home and, and I had a daughter or something, I come home and there's a dude in my house on top of my daughter and I call the police, I didn't rat. Like come on, so I don't feel like I don't know, maybe I ain't no street nigga. Maybe y'all can clear it up. I didn't really know that's the same as ratting. So I guess you're trying to say that him talking to the police is that. Okay, that's cool. All right, off that right now. Now, part of your problem, Jones, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Some of this stuff you said does make sense. Head Ice did say it wasn't no case. He was trying to downplay it like it ain't nothing. And there's something going on. But you don't really know what's going on. You got paperwork, you got charges, you got situations. You don't really know what's going on. You saying he's an R. He does not have a rape charge. He was never arrested for rape, and he doesn't have a rape conviction. So none of that makes any sense. None of that makes any sense. So, and the story's different. Your wolf is saying he had to pull, I guess, Ice off of a girl. Now, what was Ice doing? Was he having sex with the girl? Did he have the dick in the pussy? Was he just on top of her? Was he ripping his clothes off? Give us a little bit more context of what you mean pulled Ice off of a girl. Ice is saying that your wolf was trying to basically get top or dome from this girl without her consent. So it's two conflicting stories. None of y'all were charged with anything. Not your wolf and not Head Ice. So you run around calling him an R, and he was never convicted of anything. He was never arrested. He was never nothing. Nothing. Okay, so I don't understand that. You're calling him a pedophile. He does have a case that does involve a minor. Now, because it's a minor, you don't really know you don't know the name of the person, you don't know the age right now, you don't know nothing. They protect all that stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure you dig enough, you can find it. Ice can actually go down to the precinct where he was arrested at, and he can actually pull the paperwork and show the world what this is about. And I gotta keep it real with you, Ice. You ain't doing a lot of explaining. That Hip Hop Is Real interview was whack. It didn't explain a lot of stuff. You look very uncomfortable. You're looking around acting like, yo, Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, yeah, what's up? Yeah. Shout out to you. Yeah. A lot of acting like you that nigga around there. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like all of this was a little bit, you threw a little sauce on there, and you didn't answer a lot of questions. I got to keep it real with you. You didn't. You did not clarify the underage shit. You basically said it was fake paperwork or wasn't real. And I don't know. It don't look like it's fake paperwork. I got to keep it real with you. It don't look like that, especially when there's a link that you can actually pull it up. Now, it does not mean that because you have a case that involves a minor, it doesn't mean it's sexual. A lot of people assume that. Like, oh, there's a case with a 13-year-old. It must be a sexual case. No, you can literally beat a 15-year-old up and get a battery charge. And they'll say charged with a minor. They won't tell you what it is because he's a minor. You'll just assume that it's sexual. So ICE is not clearing that up, which ain't right, ICE. You had a lot to say about Chris Unbiased back in the day. You had a lot to say about Chris Unbiased on different interviews and shit for someone who isn't clearing up anything. You sat in that interview and you didn't clear it up. You're also in Alaska. Now, you acting like, oh, I'm doing podcasts and I'm chilling with this nigga and that nigga. There is paperwork that you have a reopened case in Alaska. I don't know what it is. I don't really give a fuck right now. I'm not going and looking up your paperwork. Someone just sent it to me. It said Alaska. It gave a whole bunch of whatever the indictment number is. It said something about the criminal building. It said Alaska, and it said case reopened. I don't know what reopen mean. I don't know why a black man is in Alaska. I don't really understand it. But you in Alaska, I don't know if somehow the alleged victim is in Alaska and reopened the case. I don't know if you did something in Alaska back in the day and they reopened the case, but you're in Alaska, something to do with something criminal. So either all of this paperwork is fake, all of this paperwork isn't interpreted the way it should be interpreted, which is possible. But you're not clearing this stuff up. You sat in if you gonna sit down and Hip Hop Is Real gonna do an interview that says tell all, nigga, you gotta tell all. And you can tell all because your case is closed, finito, done. A lot of this old stuff, especially with the kid. I know this reopen shit is different, but you're not really explaining anything, bro. It looked like Jones got you shook. I gotta keep it real. I would have been and met up with Jones, and Jones just would have had to see me by now. Since he act like he want to come on the block on some one-on-one shit, I would have met the nigga on the block and see if he stand on it. But you had more smoke for me and Piper Boy. You actually wanted to see us, and we ain't nothing but bloggers. And what did we say we did? What you did? Lost battles. We didn't want to see you and Carter Deems. You went on this, oh, they're taking money out of my pocket. King of the Dot might want to book that battle, and you don't want the wolf to eat. This nigga calling you an R, and you won't even meet up with him. But meanwhile, you want to meet up with me and Piper Boy. It don't make no sense. You had way too much energy for me and Piper Boy, and all we did was talk battle rap stuff. Like, yeah, you lost the Rosenberg Raw, and you lost this, and you got all this stuff to say about us and bloggers and how we messing up your money. Bro, this nigga running around calling you a pedo shooting videos on your block. Then you like, oh, it ain't my block, it ain't my this. You got hella wolves out there, and now you acting like you on another block. Yo, what's up, wolf? Yeah, what's up? What's up? Yeah, tell your mama I said hi. My nigga, we don't know if that's your block. And I gotta keep it real, we don't fucking know if that's your block. Jones looks like he has you shook. This paperwork, I don't agree with the R word. You don't have any charges and you're not convicted. Especially you're not convicted. So at least throw the word alleged round. You know what I mean? We don't act like women don't be lying and people don't be lying and police don't be lying. You ain't throwing around none of this stuff. You just putting all this facts. He a pedo, he a this. And another thing, Jones, you hung with the nigga. I gotta keep it real. All these niggas hung with ICE. You hung with ICE, called yourself a wolf because of ICE. This other nigga that said he had to pull ICE off of him, why you ain't do something to ICE? Why is ICE still able to run around Harlem if that's what he was doing 10 years ago? If he was jumping on top of women, pulling out, you sitting in an interview with Serius Jones talking about, yeah, I'm tired of this nigga. Why you ain't do something about it? You need Jones to do something about it. Why you ain't do something about it? He running around Harlem, all kinds of Hip Hop Is Real, got a million interviews with ICE in Harlem. Why y'all letting ICE run around here if that's the stain ICE got on his name? Why he run around so free in New York and Harlem? Why? So a lot of this, some of this just don't make sense, bro, because you hung around with ICE, and that's what I say the problem with the messenger. All y'all disgruntled ass niggas who have problems with people that be like, yeah, man, I really, me and Head Ice was cool. I really looked up to Ice, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a wolf and I was a wolf, and then later on, it's like, yeah, that nigga is a pedophile. He's a this, he's a that, he's a this. And then you're saying, I wasn't even gonna talk about it until he got in my business. Why you ain't gonna talk about it? So you was gonna let him be all this in battle rap, let him have this shit going on, let him have this, but because he hopped in your Rex beef, now you want to expose him. A lot of this just seems too motivated by stuff. It don't even seem organic. It just seemed like you just got mad at him and then you're going so far left. I just think you should have stuck with the facts. Like, yeah, the nigga got a child case. He got a case with a kid. He got a reopened case in Alaska. Those two things seem to be what's true. He got an old ass case with a kid. He got some reopened case in Alaska, which is why he's out there. Those two things seem to be true. And you should have just forced ICE to deal with the facts. Explain them two things, because this is what the paperwork says. It could be nothing. It could be a gun charge in Alaska, and it could be a battery charge on a kid. It could really be nothing. You should have just forced ICE to explain it. You're muddying the waters, which is a little bit of what Hitman did in the third round when he talked about all this R stuff with Mook. When really the stuff you had on Mook was that the police really showed up to his house for a domestic dispute. Stop trying to muddy the waters with false information or information that's way over the top. Like, yeah, you're R with no convictions. When your real stuff is that he got a case that involves a minor and he got a case in Alaska. That's what you should focus on. Y'all go too far past your mark in trying to expose people. Y'all don't even know how to expose people. Y'all have too much information and can't cook it up right. That's why y'all not a blogger like Unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Cassidy on Blogger Wars. I keep it real with you. Well, 3,000 and on Blogger Wars. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to cook shit up. Y'all don't be cooking up stuff, and that's why half of your stuff makes sense and half of it doesn't. I gotta keep it real with you. Half of it makes sense and half of it doesn't. You're calling him a pedo, but you don't really know what his kid charge is. And then you like, well, why isn't he explaining it? Why? Get the paperwork. You don't even have the paperwork. You don't have anything about his pedo case. Or I ain't gonna say pedo. You don't have anything about his child case. You don't know what it is. It could be anything. It could be anything. It does not mean it's sexual. You just running off with these narratives, and it's hard to put that on somebody who's been in battle rap this long and people respect. That's why nobody's really picking it up and just running with it. If this was some other nigga, this was some nigga that battled on Black Ice or some league owner we don't know, yeah, you could easy to get them niggas out of here. When you are dealing with people that's been in this culture for a long time and people respect, you're gonna have to be able to pin them in a corner. You got stuff on Ice to pin him in a corner that he's probably seems very uncomfortable talking about, because Ice looks shook in these interviews. I gotta keep it real with you. But you just muddying the waters with too much extra stuff. Nobody's gonna believe Ice is a rapist, bro, if he doesn't have a charge and he doesn't have a conviction. You think this coach is finna run around and do a whole bunch of blogs based on some random ass wolf that you like? We don't even know this nigga. You know what I'm saying? He just sitting in the car with you talking about, yeah, 10 years ago, yeah, I'm tired of this nigga. Who are you, bro? Like really, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna believe that. Y'all niggas don't know how to do real blogger wars. You don't know how to really expose people right. That's not gonna do it. Stick to what you got and force Ice to fight the allegations or fight the facts. That's how you pin Ice. And I gotta keep it real, Ice. You ducking a lot of shit. Your shit looking a little muddy. It's looking a little bad. You got some shit going on that you trying not to get out there. But I ain't gonna put it all the way on that what you think it is. I ain't finna go to R word or even a pedo roar. We really don't know, Jones. We really don't know. Holla at your boy.